So a lot of you commented on a video I did about how to properly take vitamins and supplements. By the way, I'll link it here. It'll be in the description as well. But I did that video on which vitamins and supplements you should take together, which should be taken apart, which time of day, which can be taken with food, etc. And I talked about iron. And what I mentioned was that iron needs to be taken on an empty stomach. Well, a lot of you had a lot to say about that because you said, oh my gosh, no way. Oh my gosh, if I take iron on an empty stomach, my stomach is going to be doing flip-flops. It'll be in knots. Iron bothers me so much. How could you tell people to take it on an empty stomach? And so I am back with a video on this issue right here. So you're right in that iron causes a lot of symptoms. I have another video on iron supplements that I did sort of laying out the symptoms people get. I'll link that here. But what do people get when they take iron, right? You all know this, right? In the comments, by the way, if you have some of these symptoms. But nausea, vomiting, constipation, a huge one, diarrhea, stomach cramps, heartburn, dark stools, like you name it. And sometimes, actually often, iron causes so many symptoms that it's intolerable, which means you can't even tolerate taking it. Now, you're right about the symptoms, but you're not right necessarily about how to take it. Now, it is true. The way iron is best absorbed is on an empty stomach. That is the true and best way to take it, and that's the ideal way to take it. But not everyone is able to tolerate iron if they take it on an empty stomach. So this video is all about things you can do to make your iron more tolerable if you have a problem taking it, which many people do. And yes, I'm going to go back and say it again. Just look it up. Iron is best absorbed on an empty stomach. But so this video though is about some tips and tricks to help you because iron really is tough. All right, first thing is when I start people on an iron supplement, I generally am just already starting them with a stool softener. Okay. So if you have not tried a stool softener and you have constipation taking iron, you should start a stool softener. Also, increase your water intake as well to see if that helps some of the constipation symptoms. That is something that I almost tell people to do right off the bat when I have to prescribe iron. The next thing, though, that may help is that you may try changing your iron to every other day as opposed to every day, meaning your symptoms may be more tolerable, less problematic if you take the pill every other day. Now, you got to get your doctor's advice to do this, okay? I'm not your doctor, and you don't want to be dictating your medical care. Check with your doctor to make sure that you actually are allowed to take it every other day, but that absolutely might help you, okay? The next thing is you may consider switching the formulation, okay? Meaning that there are different brands and types of iron, different prescription irons that have different amounts of what we call elemental iron. That is the amount of active ingredient iron that is in there. You may need to get a formulation that has less elemental iron. And again, your doctor absolutely can help you with that. Okay, so keep that in mind. The other thing you can consider doing is you could try taking a liquid formulation of iron, which sometimes can be easier for doctors to titrate or to change. Okay, you got to be careful with the liquid forms because it can stain teeth. And again, this should only be done under doctor's advice, but that is something that may be an option for you. And I'm giving you these options so you can go back to your doctor and say, hey, I heard this on the Googler Schmoogler. Could any of these things help me because I'm having trouble tolerating iron? Okay. The next thing, the second to last thing I'm going to give you is you could try taking your iron with food, okay? It is not against the law to do that. It's simply, as I mentioned before, that your iron is not going to be absorbed as well when it is taken with food. But it is sometimes the only way that people can tolerate or take iron pills, okay? Before you do that, I want you to talk to your doctor because I want your doctor to know how you're taking the medicine, to know how that relates to your iron levels, how quickly they rise up, and your blood levels and things like that, okay? They got to know this stuff to know how you're taking it because that's going to factor into how they assess your lab work and things, okay? But is it against the law to take it with food? No, but it isn't going to be as well absorbed. That is a fact. And by the way, sometimes we tell people to take iron already with like vitamin C, like orange juice and stuff to try to help absorption. Some people want to do that. The last thing I want to mention is something that I recommend often to my patients is simply switching to an IV iron formulation. Many of my patients just cannot take iron by mouth in oral form because it's too disrupting to their stomach. They just can't tolerate it. So I'll often refer them to hematologists or specialists who can give them IV iron. And that often is a way to get around the side effects. complex, and your doctor can help you with that. So there are lots of potential options for dealing with the iron intolerability thing. And you're right, it is so tough on the stomach for most and many people. Now, for some people, as you take iron over time, it gets better, but that's not everybody, okay? So you're right in that iron causes a lot of symptoms, but it is better absorbed when it's on an empty stomach. But there are options and ways you can go about it to try to make it better. Last thing I want to mention is some foods that have iron. This I think can be really important. So if you want to know the foods that have the most iron, lean meat and poultry, I'm kind of reading from my list because I think it's an important list. Seafood, white beans, kidney beans, lentils, and peas, so your beans, nuts and dried fruits, green leafy veggies, and also like fortified breads, breakfast cereals, and things like that. Once again, I'm going to link some of the other videos about how to properly take your vitamins and supplements. I'll link my other video about iron here as well. Let me know how you take your iron. Let me know what issues you have, what your doctor says. I'm Dr. Jen Caudle. I hope this is helpful. Go to your doctor and talk to them about this. On Facebook, please like and follow my page. On YouTube, please subscribe to my channel. Click the little bell for updates. Go to my website, drjencaudle.com, to sign up for my free health newsletter. And check me out on TikTok and WhatsApp and Instagram. I'm at Dr. Jen Caudle. Guys, I hope this was helpful. Bye.